that I remember even coming up. I didn't have I didn't have like my big brother in the household with me. I didn't have my father in the household with me and stuff like that. But when I
Hmm.
went to the gym or went to play basketball, I was surrounded by a bunch of little fellas that was probably going through the same thing, but we had each other because we were a team. Imagine if you got
Yeah.
a coach that's going to tell you how to keep the cleanliness of your body or to teach you how to keep your grades up and things like that. And you see how he carries himself, so you want to be almost a chip off the old block, just like Coach.
In this episode, we are talking to Coach Bernard Gracy. Sit back, grab a snack, and listen up.
Hello. Welcome back to At the Table with D. Monique. Here we have real conversations with real people sharing their real life stories. I'm your host, D. Monique, and our special guest today is Coach Bernard Gracy. Hey, Bernard.
Hey, how you doing?
I am doing great. Now, let me just tell y'all this. I'm calling him Bernard for y'all, but I don't call him Bernard. I call him Coach. And so that's what I am going to call him throughout this interview. Is that cool?
That is fine with me, Dan Yeezy. Can I call you Dan Yeezy?
You call me Dan Yeezy.
All right.
See, now those who are listening know all my business. They know my nicknames and stuff.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yes, because what we're supposed to be real, right?
That's
So
right. Let's
hey,
keep it real.
that's the
There you go.
real. Yes. So hey, if this is your first time listening to this podcast, I just want to thank you for tuning in. And if you've been listening for a while, thank you for coming back. I definitely appreciate you guys giving me positive feedback, sharing this podcast with your family and friends. So I ask that you just continue to do it. Okay. Now you guys know before we get into any conversation on this podcast, we gotta have snack time.
Snack time with Dan Yeezy.
Yes, we gotta have snack time.
All
So,
right.
like I said, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, you might not know that we have snacks at the table. So we're just gonna give you a moment, pause the podcast. You push the pause on your phone or your tablet, your computer, and then come back. Okay? All right, now you got a snack, so you can now commune with us. So it is important before we eat food that we always thank God who has provided us this food. And so, like my great grandmother Lucille always taught me, we're going to say our grace. So, Coach, if you and the listeners will please join me for a moment, we're going to bow our head and say our grace. So, thank you, Heavenly Father, for this food that we're about to receive. We ask that you allow it to bring nourishment to our bodies. We thank you for this and all other blessings in your son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. So, Coach, you are our guest.
And
And
I'm glad
so
to
we
be
got,
here.
yeah, you know, we both from the South. We got manners. So you get to go first.
Well, thank you, Miss D. Monique. It's a pleasure to be here. I am Bernard Gracy, or Coach Bernard Gracy from Gracie Elite Fitness at 3254 Wrightsboro Road. That's right next door to Stars and Stripes. I like to call it the happiest, hard-working hour of your life. If you ever came to any one of our boot camps, family-oriented environment, hard-working atmosphere, body changing. Oh man, I mean, not just with the body, but we also work with the mind and the spirit as well. Those are the big three that comes to the formula of you being you.
Yes. So, Coach, what you snacking on?
Oh, I thought you never asked. All right, today, now since it's Sunday, now I know I like to talk about a
Uh-huh.
lot of health and stuff like that, and y'all probably gonna expect me to pull something out like a sea moss sandwich or something like that. No, man, I ain't
Sea
trying to
moss
do it this time. But I
sandwich.
actually get a cheat day today, and today I chose for
Okay.
my cheat day. I chose to get Sour Patch Kids. Man, I don't know why, but I've been listen, D Monique. I've been craving these all week long. Now I know I'm supposed to be advocating these like
Really?
that, but when I do show my human side, I like this is one of my go-to moves right here. It's always been a favorite of mine since I was a kid. So, and not just that, I don't want to put sugar on top of sugar. So I brought my favorite water too, with this Callaway Blue. This is a delicious
Uh-huh.
spring water right here. You can get it out of Publix, or you can actually order it, and they can bring it to your establishment or to your house. Man, I should get some free endorsements for these things right here. Okay, now.
I have never seen Callaway Blue Water.
No, never. Man, don't just
Never.
see it. You got to taste this stuff right here. Some pure spring water right here is a good taste. Then have that salty taste that the Dasani carries and things of that
Mm-hmm.
nature. This is pretty much. I like this, and I like alkaline water pretty much. These are my go-to moves when it comes to
I've been
hydrate.
I'm sorry, coach. I've been going to that spring down the street from you.
Flowing wells, flowing
Yeah, I
wells.
just found out about it not long ago.
Yeah, that's actually well water. Yes,
Yeah?
well water. I think that water is coming from the earth right there, and it's
Yeah.
constantly flowing. So,
Yeah, and I'm telling you the water it tastes really good. So, coach, we do eat on this podcast. So, we're going to need you to pop open that pack of Sour Patch Kids and tell us how it tastes. I have never eaten a Sour Patch
you've
Kid.
never had Sour
And
Patch Kids? Oh my goodness!
no, no, unless they make a vegan version, I'm not going to get the
Oh, I
opportunity
forgot.
to but I want you to describe it to us how this Sour Patch Kids taste.
Okay. All right. Let's go here. Let's give one of these things a try. See what these old Sour Patch Kids taste like. Mmm. Danielle, it's almost like, okay, first they're sour, and they give you the auntie face. Like when
Uh-huh.
she in church, you acting up in church, give you that auntie face.
Uh-huh.
Damn. When you find out she wasn't talking about you, she was talking about your cousin, it tastes sweet. It's a little sweeter. So if I
So
can describe it
is
like
it
that.
kind of like a is it kind of like a lemon head?
No, actually, it's almost like a Flintstone vitamin covered with sugar. You ever want to eat a whole jar of Flintstones? You're like, God, I can't wait till tomorrow. I'm gonna eat Barney tomorrow. Today I ate
Oh God.
Dino, the grape kind.
Oh God. No. I remember now I was taking these vitamins as an adult, but I do remember there were some vitamins, but they had like a sugar coating on the outside.
Oh
So
wow.
I can imagine the texture, but I can't think the only candy I could think that I ever had that was sour at first and then went sweet were lemon heads. Remember like they had the apple lemon heads, grape lemon
Mmm.
heads, lemon heads.
Oh yeah, you have to go to the candy lady house to get those, or you had to
Yes.
go to your neighborhood Chews if you were in Savannah. You remember
Yes.
Chews? And they had
Yes.
frosted baked beans. They had Chico sticks. Oh
Yes.
man! Now when you're talking
So
about throwback
go ahead.
candy, oh man, that's a
Yeah.
good. Oh, and
I
candy
had
corn.
a oh wait, you talk about those Halloween candies?
Oh yeah, those little tree
Candy
level.
corn?
Yo, your candy corn.
Okay. You can only eat like maybe 3 of them. They are super sweet. Like they're too sweet. You eat just that. I mean, that's when you just got to eat just a few. Otherwise, that sugar rush to your nose. You ever had it so sweet and
Yes,
like
ma'am.
you can feel
Yes,
it in your
ma'am.
nose?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That is a sugar rush for you here.
Yes.
Saliva gets
Yes.
thick. You gotta spit every 2 seconds. You better have you one of these when you drink
Some
the candy
Callaway.
corn. You better believe it. Goodness.
So I do have a snack today. Of course, I always have a snack. When do I not have a snack? Okay.
What you
But
snacking on?
okay. So I have heard a lot of people talk about yellow watermelons, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I was in a local grocery store the other day and I had already purchased what I wanted and I was walking out and I saw they had yellow watermelons. And I was like, "Oh, I got to try this on the podcast."
Oh wow.
So that's my snack for today.
This is your
Yellow
first time with a
watermelon.
yellow watermelon?
First time with a. So I think I purchased one before, but I might have given it away because I don't remember eating it.
Oh, did you think it
Yes.
was bad when you cut it?
I don't know. You know how sometimes you have something and you tell somebody about it and they're like, "Oh, I wish I had it," and I'm like, "Oh, here you go." I I do stuff. I do nice, stupid stuff like that. Yeah, but okay. So here goes nothing. I'm going to try this yellow watermelon and see what it tastes like. Here we go.
Drum roll, please.
Yeah, I want to know what it tastes like.
Uh-oh. What she got?
Tastes like watermelon.
Are you serious?
It tastes like watermelon.
Like the red watermelon.
I would say so the consistency, you know how the red watermelon can sometimes almost have like a airy, spongy
Yeah.
type of texture.
Hmm.
This one's a little thicker, but not in a bad way. It's just a little more solid. Yeah.
It looks almost like a cantaloupe.
So I thought it was gonna have like cantaloupe, honeydew type of taste. And I don't know how you choose a yellow watermelon. So it's sweet, but not too sweet.
Hmm.
Okay. So of course I don't have a sugar rush to my nose. But yeah, it is really good. Hmm. I would definitely recommend it. It's good.
This so far is the best podcast I've ever been on by
Because we get
far.
to eat.
By far, man, I'm eating on your podcast, Danielle. Oh my goodness, the Monique show. Oh man, Oprah ain't got nothing on this, man. Look at what. You see that? I am very happy to be here. No, you ain't supposed to play with your food, but goodness.
Hey, you know what? You got one life to live. Enjoy it. If you want to play
That's
with your
right.
food, play with your food. But this is refreshing. I think I might blend some of this watermelon up. Have you ever had watermelon juice?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm thinking I might blend some of it up and drink it as a juice. So y'all know I always want to get one more bite and then we're going to get into the conversation.
All right then.
Very refreshing. Yeah. So Coach, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling awesome. Glad to be alive, breathing in God's air, being on His borrowed time. Man, I just feel awesome. Hope everybody else feeling the same type of way. So
I hope they are too. And I just want to let you guys know how I know Bernard as aka Coach. So when I moved to Augusta, I found out about his gym and I used to go there and work out. And my experience there was that of me going and hanging out with some of my cool cousins. Like it's a very family oriented gym. And so like my nick everybody goes to that gym, they get a
they
nickname.
get
So
a
y'all
nickname.
heard, right? But I'll tell you the one thing that impressed me the most is after we did our workout, everybody got into a circle. We held hands or we put our fists together and we said a prayer. And he prayed for our fitness journey and he also prayed for us to get safely home. And I had never experienced anything like that before at a gym. And so they were my gym family for a while. I had some health issues, so I had to stop going. But I'll tell you, that's been one of the best experiences of me being here in Augusta. It really is. And so Bernard is a husband. He's a father. He is a community leader. And as he already told you guys, he is the owner of Gracie Elite Fitness. Coach, now you mentioned Savannah. I know you spent some time in Savannah, but you're originally from Augusta,
Yes,
right?
I am originally from Augusta.
Yeah. And the reason that you're on here today is because I know you were really involved with children.
Yeah,
You were a coach. And so that's what I want to talk to you about today, because um, just from stories I've heard, sometimes there's not always maybe a father in the house. And so sometimes when children are in the presence of a coach, that is their experience with the father figure for that time that they're at practice. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. But before we get into that, did you play sports when you were a kid?
absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What sports did you play?
Basketball was my first love. I also love track and
Mm-hmm.
field. I ran track and field. Um, I was good at baseball, but I really didn't have the interest or the drive in baseball as I did in track and field and basketball. Um, I always had the thrill for the hunt. I just always wanted to compete, and see how good I
Uh-huh.
was against the best. Even as a youngster, man, and then it always kept me doing something, you know, and,
Yeah.
and staying busy and staying sharp, mentally and physically. So hats off to
Yeah.
sports.
I can remember being a kid, and you probably have some similar memories when your first experience of competition was outside with your friends. You know how, especially if you were on the street, somebody would like maybe put a rock right here, this is the starting line, and you take another rock or a frisbee or whatever you had.
Ooh,
Kids, we used our imaginations, right?
that's right.
And
That's right.
so, right, so you had the starting line, and then you had the finish line, and it was like whoever made it to that spot first, that was the winner.
That's it. That's it. Everything was a
Yeah.
game. The power of the imagination. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So is that how you got competing outside with your friends?
oh yeah,
And
oh yeah. It's almost like that your peers force you into competition. I bet you I can do this
yeah.
better than you. Oh no, you can't. I can do this just like you can. Or that, and it turns into a friendly competition. Next thing you know, you end up with scholarships going to places you never been. So, so hats off to my peers who said I couldn't do it. How about that? Yes, I
They said
can.
I wouldn't make it.
That's right. They say I wouldn't be here today.
Oh gosh. So what was the first organized sport that you played, and how old were you?
The very first organized sport had to be basketball, and that had to
Mm-hmm.
come at Immaculate Conception Catholic School. I was at a Catholic school at that time, and
Okay.
I was in the seventh grade, so I was kind of like a late bloomer. Um,
Mm-hmm.
my mom, I usually just tried to help my mom with working and stuff like that. So in the beginning, I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really trying to do like sports too tough. But after a while, when
Mm-hmm.
things started getting stable, I was becoming a real boy again, and I can play with some basketball. So hey, I played basketball the seventh grade year, had Immaculate Conception, um, and the best experience was because we went to the championship that day. We didn't win that championship year, but
Uh-huh.
we went, and to get that experience early, I wanted that type of experience again and again and again. Now, I
Yeah.
did have my fair share of losses as a little boy, and it was a nun there by the name of Sister Janet Reddy. And Sister Janet said, because I was so mad after we lost that championship, Danielle, and I was
Mm-hmm.
so hurt. And one of the things she told me was, Bernard, she had the Boston accent. Well, Bernard, you first have to learn to lose before you learn to win, son. And that would,
Aw.
yeah, but that with me stuck with me like forever, even all the way up to my entrepreneurship. Those words from that lady saying you first have to learn how to lose or be uncomfortable with losing to actually have uh, the pleasure
Like
of
an
winning and
appreciation.
appreciate that
Yeah.
pleasure of winning, even as a
Yeah.
child, during that time. So I didn't understand it too tough then. I thought she was being mean because I'm in the seventh grade. Didn't you just see that? Sister Janet, we lost, man. So yeah, but
Yeah.
it
I mean,
worked out.
that's Sister Janet just like preached you a whole sermon and gave you a whole motivational speech with
Yeah,
just those few words.
just those words.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
quality of
So
words, not the quantity.
yeah. Um do you remember who your coaches were?
Oh, absolutely. I had during that year it was Emmanuel Bryson and
Uh-huh.
it was Coach George Mays Jr. and who else? Mr. Thaddeus Young. And they were all there, three fellas. And one thing about it, you talking father figure, man, you didn't want to mess up around either one of them fellas because they always kept you straight. We didn't have the
Mhm.
problem with pulling your pants up and and cleaning up, or even if you the worst thing that comes if you tell him uh, a word like lie, he'll correct you. Like you don't say the word lies if you tell a tale or something like that. It was so
Yeah, or fibbing,
organized
right.
and right, man, and it was so full of morals and values, and you never know who's watching you as a coach at times. But I was really watching them fellas, and watching how they led us, and saw how they took time with us. And as a youngster, one of the main ingredients of growing up is you want someone to spend time with you, especially as a young male. And you want to see
Mhm.
older males and you want to get on that level. So it's so imperative that you walk a certain way and you give a certain amount of time into the youth like that so they can grow and they can develop, and maybe they can
Yeah.
start coaching. Because the funny thing about it, Danielle, is the same school that I played for, I came back 20 years later or 30 years later and coached it myself.
Really? So that's
Yes,
where you coached.
that's right. I came from Savannah.
And
I was in Savannah for a little bit, um,
mhm.
going to Savannah State. I was going up there and I met my wife and we stayed there for about 16 years. Came home
Mhm.
and I put my kids in the same school that I went to school.
Oh,
And
wow.
right. But I found out they didn't have a basketball team. And I was like, man, we used to be feared when we were a basketball team there. So what I did, I
Yeah.
said, man, Immaculate Conception didn't have a basketball team. I'm going to volunteer to have that team put back together. So I started coaching Immaculate Conception's boys and girls basketball team. And it was a great success. Well, the first year we went 8-8. The second year we won the Centennial Championship. That's your school's 100th year of existence championship. So you only get one
Wow.
time to do that.
Right.
That's right. So we did that, and we did it on the very first day of Black History Month, or it was the second day. It was one of the 2 days of Black History Month on that
Uh-huh.
February, and it was just so a sense of such pride and joy, man, and to watch the fellas run up and down the court, jumping and laughing and cheering from what they worked so hard for. Because we didn't even have a gym, Danielle. We were outside, and I'm telling you, it's February. That's Black History Month, so it's cold. So we were outside, man, snotty nose and no coat some days. Some days we'll have the grace of May Park Community Center and other community centers that reach out and say, hey, man, we saw y'all outside and we want to just help and give you, a little bit of gym time. And we're appreciative of that to this day because it turned out by showing their appreciation, we showed them that title.
Wow. I think that's so awesome that they didn't have a team. You remember how you felt as a kid, right? You remember those great memories and
Oh,
you
yeah.
went back there and you guys won
And
during the
now I'm the new
centennial
Mr.
year.
Mays and the new Coach Bryson.
Right.
And it's funny because who knows? Somebody's going to come back right behind my footsteps, and they're going to be the next Coach Grace, and he's going to be full of the other two that I have ahead of me, plus my
Yeah.
wisdom, and plus whoever he's going to be or she's going to be.
Yeah.
So it has a tendency to become powerful if we take all of our mentors and we take all of the values and the morals and just the empowerment that they've given us and they give it to the next man because now they're
Mhm.
taking all of the teachings from them plus your teachings and plus their
Yeah.
life experiences and they're creating this same type of a hero or a mentor or something like that. And it's 10 times better than us. Now, if we really want that out of a child,
Mm-hmm.
man, listen, we can't be jealous as that as elders. We got to see how the process works. We can't be
Yeah.
jealous of the youth becoming empowered and becoming even
Yeah.
better than us, you know?
Yeah. Coach, there is a basketball player or ex basketball player by the name of Michael Paul Beasley. I
I'm
saw an
familiar.
interview with him. I don't remember the name of the podcast. I'm sorry that I don't remember the name of it, but it was just a clip, and he was really emotional because just based on his story, basketball kind of saved his life. He didn't have a really great um, home environment, but he was able to go and play basketball. And now that he's not in the NBA anymore, it seems like he's a little bit lost. Are you familiar with his story?
I'm familiar. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What do you know? Because I'm not, I'm not into sports, but when I saw that clip of him, he was really emotional. It made me emotional because you can feel the heartache coming through the video.
Well, a lot of his didn't necessarily come on the court. A lot of the things came from organization and mistreatment of money. Nobody really schooling him on how to take care of his money. And he's a number one draft pick in the NBA now. Life's changing
Hmm.
for him. Um, and like they say, with more money is more problems. It's bigger problems. And
Hmm.
when you're in the league like that and you don't have anyone to counsel you, or even when you're going through a mental breakdown or mental distress, you really don't have anybody to turn to like that. And I don't think Michael Beasley had too much as far as family or too much as far as like teammates with assisting him with responsibility like that. Therefore, you drift
Yeah.
off into losing all of your money. And then when you lose your money, guess what? You lose the fake friends that were around you, and you're stuck
Hmm.
with almost just nothing but just it's an inner darkness. And I think his is more mentally um, just what he's gone through. And it's a lot of men out there that's just like that and haven't had the proper help or the or even have
Hmm.
they have too much pride to even ask for the help like that. Almost don't want nobody to help you ride your bike and I got it myself. I can do it by myself. Type. You
Yeah.
feel me? For a man, it's kind
Yeah.
of like that, and it's almost like our gift and a curse. But it's not bad to ask for help at times. But I don't think Mr. Beasley had the proper help or had that roadmap to
Hmm.
lead him in the right direction at
Yeah.
that time.
As you as you were talking, I was trying to find the so many people have reposted the clip. So I can't find um the original guys that were talking to him. But one thing I saw was that the guys that he was speaking to, they were trying to like embrace him.
Hmm.
You know, like you said, when his money was gone, those fake friends were gone, right?
That's right.
But these guys, they just wanted to be there for him. And I don't know what ended up happening. I hope that he did take them up on their offer, because we all need somebody.
That's right.
Even if they don't have to be our blood,
That's
but
right.
we all need somebody,
It,
right?
it used to be
Yeah.
a verse from remember Goody Mob, and it was a verse that CeeLo Green said it. It said, "Sometimes I don't even know how I'm going to eat. About $20 away from being on the street. You might see a brother on TV, but hell, it's almost like I'm rapping for free. That little money be gone. Got to help keep the
Mm-hmm.
heat and the lights on. It would be nice to have more, but I kind of like being poor because it lets me know what my friends here for.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh man, they used
I
to
don't
they used to
remember
talk to us
I
back
don't
in those
remember that,
days.
but that was deep. That was poetry.
Hmm.
Not was, because it's still, when once we create something, it's still alive. So it's definitely poetry. Um, did you ever experience anything like that when you were coaching, or even maybe when you were a youth, where you encountered kids who maybe, the team was their family?
Yes. Yes. You never know what the child is going through at the home or anything. So I try to make the gym just like I try, well, the basketball gym, the
Mm-hmm.
same way I try to make, the same way I'm currently running my boot camp. You never know what
Mm-hmm.
a person's going through. So you want to make this like a hot air balloon type situation out of a traffic jam that they're going through in life. So being there for them as far as a basketball coach, and not just a basketball coach, but a counselor and a tutorer, so it's more than just dribbling a ball up and down the court. You could teach a monkey to do that or a dog to do that. But what separates them is the level of intelligence or even how their lives are going and stuff like that. I remember even coming up, I didn't have I didn't have like my big brother in the household with me. I didn't have my father in the household with me and stuff like that. But when I
Mm-hmm.
went to the gym or went to play basketball, I was surrounded by a bunch of little fellas that was probably going through the same thing, but we had each other because we were a team. And the coach,
Mm-hmm.
it's always good to have a coach who can recognize that you're dealing with a bunch of little boys that might not have an older brother or a father figure and stuff like that. Now you have to become that alpha or that pack leader for that child because as a child,
Mm-hmm.
we mimic Superman. We mimic everything we pretty much see when we come out of the movie theater. So imagine if you got
Yeah.
a coach that's going to tell you how to keep the cleanliness of your body or to teach you how to keep your grades up and things like that. And you see how he carries
Mm-hmm.
himself. So you want to be almost a chip off the old block, just like coach. So setting
Yeah.
the example and
Mm-hmm.
pushing the lead. And how heavy is the head too, because sometimes even as the coach, you're not going to want to come in there every day with just laughing and skipping up the street. You're going to go through
Mm-hmm.
your own too. I've coached basketball when I've had some of the hardest times. I coached it when I was going through economic struggles, everything. It was like something was trying to stop me from empowering these kids. You know what I mean? Plus, it was also empowering me by going through the things I was going through. Like,
Yeah.
man, you ever seen those movies when the guy has so much pressure on him, but yet he's in the championship game? The championship game, my
Mm-hmm.
water was cut off.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Wow.
So yeah, man, that
Yeah.
plastic trophy, yeah, it meant a lot to me that day because it represents too. Okay, the struggle. I even got through that to and
Mm-hmm.
then even bring that to the court with me or those emotions and feelings to those kids. You know what I mean? And then I those they wasn't in my business, but it taught me to and reminded me to teach them how to perform even just during adverse situations, like during all type of adversity. Okay, we're down right now, but pretty soon as we keep fighting, this game will be ours. Not
Mm-hmm.
just on the court, but if we keep fighting through life and
Yeah.
taking those risks as businessmen and women and putting our
Mm-hmm.
talents out there, what's a basketball court? There's a place where you can display your talent. And one thing about the basketball court is you can always you've got judges, not judges, but you've got referees to make sure that the
Uh-huh.
rules are implied and the rules are being followed. You got those fans out there cheering, and if they're upset about something wrong, they're gonna boo and they're gonna do this and that. You've got the coach, you've got your parents there. Okay, that's the reason why you can do so well because you've got boundaries and everything. But when you come out here in the real world, this is what I used to tell the kids. The reason why you're so good on the court, and it's going to be a little harder in the real world because the real world doesn't have the boundaries. There's no referees. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? It's going to be
Yeah.
disgruntled fans, or those going to be your clients. Either they're going to cheer for you or they're going to boo you. But if
Mm-hmm.
you live for the cheers, you're going to die by those boos. You also got to teach them that. You know. So with with all of that said, man, just it translates from sport to even responsibility. It's not just
Mm-hmm.
about jumping jacks, and even in the fitness industry, it's not just even about jumping jacks and stuff. It's about healing your body from the G in the middle, the soul or the God in you first, and the body.
Yeah.
It in your mind, you have your mindset, and the body is the subconscious mind. So, however you're thinking, that body's going to evolve into that. I always told my boys before we got started, um, day one, you are going to be the private school league champion. That was the very first words came out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are going to be the private school league champion. I'm Bernard Gracy. I'm Coach Gracy, and you guys are the private school champions of this year. And everybody
Mm-hmm.
started laughing and this and that and all that. Oh, you think so? Oh, man, why not you? Why not
Yeah.
you?
Why?
You
Mm-hmm.
know? So that whole season, it was a reprogramming of why not
Mm-hmm.
you? You are worthy. You know, you can do this, 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 and this. If I haven't taught y'all anything in this world, I'm teaching you right now that whatever you put your mind to, you are worthy. And you have to speak it into existence. The very first thing I spoke to them was, hey, man, you guys are going to win this championship. You know, and
Yeah.
we face all types of adversities because there's always a line of discomfort in between
Mm-hmm.
in between your goals and who you are, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you can
Yeah.
always evolve, but you're going to have to go through that level of struggle. You know, you're not being
Yeah.
broken, you're becoming something.
There is a quote, and I hope I get it correctly. If whether you believe you can't or you can, you're correct.
You're right.
So if you know, and I always try to encourage myself as well as others to speak positively. Because if you keep your mind there when the negative tries to come in, you could make that, you could put it like a strong, like ha-cha type of,
Hmm.
like you cut that thing off, because that's the only way that you're gonna be able to have a good spirit,
That's
is
right.
when those sad thoughts, those thoughts of doubt, creep in. And the other thing is, you also have to be cautious about who you surround yourself with. Or I want to say be cautious, be aware
That's
of
right.
who you surround yourself with. Because if you hang around a bunch of negative people, it's going to start rubbing off on you, whether
That's
you
right.
realize it or not. If you start hanging out with a bunch of positive people, it's going to start rubbing off on you, whether
That's
you know it
right.
or not, right?
That's right.
So, yeah. So, like I met a young lady the other day, and we were talking about anxiety. And I was like, I have anxiety too. I don't speak it, but I know that's what it is. And so um she was telling me some things. I don't want to say what she said because, to respect her privacy. But she was telling me some things, and she said, I'm always thinking this. I said, you know what? You got to stop it, because you're going to end up manifesting all those negative thoughts,
That's right.
you know? So when those negative thoughts come, you're going to have to block them, whatever way that is. And so I said I was going to try to check up on her, every couple days to see her, because check on her, because the environment that she's in,
Mm.
it will be easy for folks to co-sign her feelings,
Mm.
those negative feelings,
Right.
right?
Right.
And I don't want those feelings to be co-signed.
That's right.
I want only the positive.
That's right.
And with her being so young, and the people around her being older to co-sign it, she's gonna think, oh, they're older, they know. So yeah, I'm gonna just keep thinking, uh, this bad thing's gonna happen to me and that bad things. No, it doesn't have to be that way. Will you have some adversities in life? Yes, that's what makes us stronger,
Hmm.
right?
That's
But you
right.
don't have to stay in that place, especially mentally.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um, yeah. So I know we're talking about kids, but hey, this is all a part of it, and this is how a conversation goes. So that's what this podcast is about: is having conversation. So um, sometimes we may get off topic, and that's okay. That is what's needed at that moment. And I don't know who maybe needed to hear the words that you and I were saying, but now they're there, and hopefully it impacts someone's life
That's right.
positively.
And we're all
Okay.
still kids. We're just in a grown in a bigger shell. That's all.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. So coach, I know you have kids. Were your kids ever on your teams?
Yes, I had all of my kids played basketball for me. My son Nicholas
Really?
played when he was 8 years old in Savannah, at
Mhm.
Windsor Forest Community Center, and
Mhm.
my daughters played for me at Immaculate Conception. Oh no, no, no! It was at they played for me at May Park Community Center
Okay.
downtown. Um, and man, it was a great experience all across the board. It wasn't I wasn't a dad at that time. I was coach at that time, and but
Yeah.
still, it was being a team coach is still like being a dad, at least for
Yeah.
4 quarters.
So not only did you coach at Immaculate Conception, you also coached for a community league.
That's right. 2 community leagues, one in Savannah, Windsor
Uh-huh.
Forest Community, and one in Augusta. That was May Park Community Center.
So how'd you get started with May Park? Were they after Immaculate Conception or before?
Yes, with the success that I had with Immaculate Conception, um, I've got the interest from a couple of the directors over at May Park because we
Mhm.
were also using their gym to practice. Remember? So
Right.
after that, they gave me an opportunity to host my own team, like a AAU type setting, and put me with a good group of guys. And then after that, I started training the girls. So, and it's easier, really, believe it or not, to train the girls. The girls listen more than the guys. Goodness, man. And I also had both of my daughters on the team, so that kind of helped too.
Right. Yeah, they were like, listen to my dad so I don't have to do extra laps when I get home.
I know one of the commissioners, Alvin Mason, coached with me one year because he had a
Uh-huh.
granddaughter on there. I remember him helping us coach. So that was I mean, you meet a lot of new people doing some of the things that you love to do too. So that was my first time meeting one of our commissioners up front, and just
Right.
meeting them out of their uh, profession,
Yeah.
you know.
Tell us how was the relationship among coaches? Because we've kind of concentrated on just the kids, but tell us about that.
Um, are you saying in the reference of assistant coach and coach, or you
Yeah,
said how
like
was it?
just your relationship, working with the kids, because obviously you have to have two or more folks to rally
Right,
all
that
these
that
kids
works on
together.
absolutely.
Hmm.
Now I've always had a great supporting cast. I've had Mr. Ferris Lowry with me during Immaculate Conception years. Now sometimes we
Hmm.
might bump heads on what play might not work and what play may work, but we're men. You understand? And
Yeah.
we're not gonna say everything's gonna be peaches and cream, but we also have to come to a compromise so we can have what's best for them fellas that we're coaching.
Yeah.
Um, Most of my problems never came from the staff or the faculty we put together. It usually
It
used to
was the
come from the
parents.
parents.
I
Oh,
knew
you
it
lose
was
one more game, Coach Gracie. I'm snatching him off of this team.
the
Now you understand what I'm talking about?
parents.
But
Yes.
hey, man, it turns into what is that? Remember the Titans then, because man, now your job is on the line. You got this parent right there gonna take your star player if you lose another
Right.
game. Oh man. But it's all right. It all comes with the territory. But believe it or not, it sets you up and it develops your character.
Yeah. You just mentioned remember the Titans. So I remember as a kid, there were always like after school movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Back to
remember
school
those
special.
movies that yes. I mean, they were so encouraging. You know,
Mm.
when you went home, you saw the kid that was you maybe walking along the railroad tracks, kicking rocks, right? He
Stand
felt
by me.
hopeless. And then he goes to class and one of his teachers like, "Hey Bobby, come here, let me talk to you." and it's like, "Hey, Bobby, we really could use another player on the basketball team. I'm no
Mm,
good. I'm no good, coach. Bobby, you are good." You know.
that's right.
And then Bobby starts going to
Isn't that right,
practice,
fellas?
and
Yeah, yeah.
you can do it, Bobby. You can do it. And Bobby goes and he's playing, and he doesn't make all the shots throughout all the games, but then it's that one last game, and they're about to win the championship, and the ball is tossed to Bobby, and the
And
Bobby's
the
like
slow motion,
looking around. Yes, he's looking around. He's like, "Coach, my
and everybody's in
team,
the camera like this.
look." Yes.
And then when
And
some
then
of the
he
people who know
throws
Bobby can't shoot, they like this.
in slow motion.
No. Bobby's eyes big.
He goes to take a shot.
You
Yes,
already
the
know.
buzzer goes
Boy.
off. Bobby makes the shot.
Oh, we
Some
all go
team member,
stupid.
yeah, they come and scoop Bobby up, put Bobby on their shoulders, and you feel so inspired after
Oh
that
boy.
movie's over. And I don't watch television a lot much these days, but from what I've seen, we don't have those shows around anymore. But as corny as they may sound, the way it made you feel
Yes.
in that moment or the moments after, it's like, you know what? I'm Bobby. I can I can do it too. If Bobby can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
You
And I
know?
know I'm better
Yeah,
than Bobby.
yeah. Because I remember shows like Family Matters, The Cosby Show, Full House. There's so many.
Different strokes.
Yeah, Good Times. All those shows, they always had a problem in the beginning, right?
Hmm.
But by the end, there was most of the time there was always a resolution, unless there was like a part two, and it's like, oh my god, we
Yeah, you be like,
gotta
boy, I
wait for
can't wait to get
next.
off the bus tomorrow and see different strokes, boy. They gonna fight the gooch. They gonna fight the gooch. Remember the gooch on the
you
different stroke? Oh, he was like he always bullied Arnold.
know, no,
What you talking about,
I
Willie?
didn't. Yeah, I don't remember the gooch, but I may have to go pull it up on Hulu or
Oh
something.
man. They never showed his face. They just showed Arnold being scared of some big bully.
Mm. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like we were talking about with those shows, when you had somebody that was a bully, they got away with it for a little while, right?
Hmm.
But then everybody was getting together. Like you said, the gooch is like, you know what? We're not gonna let the gooch get us. That's right, guys. We're not gonna let. And then they go and they stand up to the gooch, right? And they realize the gooch is this lonely guy who didn't think anybody would want to really be his friend. And so he starts, like bullying them just to get some attention. And then they're like, okay, Gooch, you could be our friend. Like they find out
Yeah,
Gooch's
they finally.
backstory.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, maybe the Gooch
God, what
dad was
happened to
a
those?
drinker, and and was maybe hitting Gooch when he got home, and then Gooch
Yeah,
was like,
man.
I'm gonna go hit the little ones at school.
I know, right? Jesus, man. Oh, man. Yeah, if
Yeah.
we had more shows like that, I think the world would be just a tad bit better of a place. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
because a lot of people are seeing things on television that some of these people, they seem like they're successful, but they have so much unhappiness and unrest in their lives. And
Real
so,
Housewives.
see, I wasn't going to call nobody out, coach.
It's the Sour Patch
We're
Kids.
just
I'm
going
sorry, guys.
we're just going to say the unreality shows, okay?
Okay.
Because I don't really think they're real, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Here we're getting off subject, but whatever. Some of my favorite reality shows are like Ayanla, Fix My Life, Beloved. I love
Mm.
Ayanla. she she just has a way of saying beloved, you know?
Mhm.
It's like her words give you a hug when she says that. And then who else do I like? I like it doesn't come on anymore and you'll be surprised at this show, but Divorce Court with Judge Lynn Toller. And it's not
Oh
that
yeah, I
I
like
like
Judge Lynn.
the yeah, I don't like the divorce, okay? But I love the words that she speaks to people. You
It makes
know,
them
like
think.
if a guy, yeah, she's like, Mr. Brown, you're a real good guy. Guess I'm sorry, habits, but you're a good guy.
Uh-huh.
You know, I think you could work at it. And, you know, she'll tell the lady, you know, he's a good brother,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
little rough around the edge. I mean, she was just,
But it's
she
up to you whether you
never
want to be patient with him.
she never really put someone down. She identified what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and kind of challenged them to you know, go be better. And then there were some times where she had to tell him, like, listen, they're not gonna change. So you gonna stick with them or you not? Because this is what you're gonna get. You go back, this is what you're gonna get. So I appreciate those type of reality shows.
That's right.
Um Yeah. So, coach, so I know you're out of probably community coaching right now because you have your own gym, but how are you helping the youth now, um, within your gym
Well, we have a
or in
youth
the community?
program right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a certain price for our youth that comes in anywhere from 8 years old throughout their junior. I still consider 23 our junior class of youth. You know, they just
Yeah.
crossing over into adulthood, so it's a specific
Yeah.
type of youth. So we give them specific prices, scholarship to a couple of them that can't really afford it at the time, but they're struggling with obesity or just struggling with just wanting to be mentored, or wanting to become their greatest version. Whatever is going to help them become their greatest version. That's what we're trying to do too. Now, outside of the gym, I still
Mm-hmm.
do a little bit of coaching. That like once a year, we have an annual Martin Luther King Day basketball practice and tournaments and stuff like that, and it lasts from about 12 to 6. I usually go
Mm-hmm.
there and warm them up. It's coached by NET's Ricky McGee. Um, he
Mm-hmm.
has a basketball association with the young youth, and he partners with me once a year. We either go to Bell Terrace Community Center, or this year it was at Bernie Ward Community Center off of Lumpkin Road. And sometimes we get over 300 little boys and girls that uh, basketball inclined and stuff like that.
Really?
We try to coach them, and we try to show them fundamentals, and we also try to give them a little thing of Black history while we there too, because it is on Martin Luther King's birthday when we actually
Mm-hmm.
throw um, the practices every year or the camps every year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Listen, I had no idea that you were doing the basketball camp, and I didn't know you had programs for the youth in the gym.
Yes. Yes.
So that's so awesome.
We call it Youth
Um,
Elite Training. As a matter of fact, we also have a bodybuilding show coming up August the 5th, where
mhm.
we're inviting the teens to come and actually showcase themselves also at the Augusta Croc Center on Broad Street. That's August the 5th. It's WNBF bodybuilding, all natural, and it's a novice tournament. So all amateurs are going to be stepping on the stage for the very first time, and from teenagers on up through our junior class. So we're trying to promote them as well and give
Mhm.
everybody a sense of opportunity, not just the adults. So,
Okay. And so you're hosting this?
yes, I'm the WNBF promoter for the South now. That's World Natural Bodybuilding Federation. Been out for 36 years now. I was used to putting ladies and fellas on the stage, and now I am the stage. So August the
Nice.
5th, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I remember this is right before COVID, I remember you had so many people on that stage.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, okay, without mentioning names, because we don't want to tell anybody business, okay? I mean, their business already out there, but we're not gonna put their names on the podcast. There was there there was one couple, right? They trained together. You
Yes.
want to tell their story? You want to tell their story, Coach? Tell their
Yes,
story.
yes. Oh man. Renisha, is it Renisha?
You gonna tell her name?
Oh, sorry. Oh, well, yeah, man. Still, yeah, they are awesome, man. I'm gonna tell you how awesome
Okay, go ahead.
Renisha
Tell
is.
their name.
Dude,
Okay, go ahead. Go
Renisha and
ahead.
Kyle Brooks, those are two of my favorites, man. That's up in here. And Renisha and Kyle have been working on having children for a good long minute. And at
Uh
that
huh.
time, it just wasn't as successful. Um, but I said, you know what? As soon as y'all get those bodies to a certain degree of excellence and to, a
Mm-hmm.
way that even God see fit that, okay, I gotta bless this now. You understand what I mean? Then they ended up doing the show. They worked out together. They lost
Mm-hmm.
almost 50 pounds a piece or something like that. And next thing you know, they're on stage. All of this happened within a 3.5 month span. And I can actually
Mm-hmm.
show them to you too if you want to see. But their before and afters were awesome. But the biggest trophy that came out of that, or the biggest prize that came out of that, she gave birth to two baby boys, healthy, beautiful baby boys. You understand?
Yep.
And she had her greatest version of her body. He had his greatest version of his body. And they came together and created these two strong little boys, man. So,
Yes. They are the cutest.
oh yeah, oh yeah. So, man, Kyle Jr. and Little Rob. I remember
Yeah.
those are our little gym babies around here.
Yes, they are so adorable. I just thought that was such a great, great result of them. They trained together, they did the competition, and then afterwards they found out that they were pregnant not long after. Do you remember how long after?
It was like
It
weeks
wasn't
afterwards. It was weeks
yeah,
afterwards. She might
yeah,
have
it
been on
wasn't that
stage
long.
with the baby,
Right.
a 6 pack
They
with a
were
baby in it.
right.
Goodness, now that's cramped up.
Yes. Those are gonna be some strong babies. They're like,
Yes,
let me out of
Lord.
here. Let me out of
Goodness, hard to grow when your mom's got a rock hard abs,
here. Yes.
and you got a little brother in here with you. It was twins.
Right, right.
Yeah, so
So
yeah,
you
man.
fighting for room? You fighting
Whew.
for room all the way around.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. So hey coach, I want to first tell you thank you so much for coming on here to talk to me. Y'all don't know, we actually could go on and on because we talk forever when we talk.
That's right. That's
But
right.
yes, but thank you so much for coming on. But before you go, I want you to tell everybody how they can get in contact with you. So all your social medias, if you have a website, all that, share that so that folks can reach out to you.
Awesome. All right. I'm at 3254 Wrightsboro Road, right next to Stars and Strikes. My Facebook handle is King Bernard Gracy II. You can also find me on Instagram under Gracie Elite Fitness. That's Gracie underscore Elite underscore and Fitness. You can also find me on TikTok as King Gracie on TikTok. Other venues will be YouTube as far as Gracie Elite Fitness. And also, I think we're also on LinkedIn. So, or just Google Gracie Elite Fitness, and you'll find every avenue that you can find pertaining to us. Oh,
Nice.
also, my phone number is area code 912-844-3338. That's 912-844-3338. Set up a free consultation with us online through our website, gracieelitefitness.com.
Nice. Thank you so much, Coach. And also, I want to thank the listeners for coming on and listening to another episode. If you guys have a snack suggestions, you have a topic suggestions, or you want to be the next guest at the table, please contact me. I'll have all my contact information in the show notes. You can also connect with me on Instagram by searching At the Table with D Monique. You can also find me on Facebook At the Table with D. Monique. And I am just learning to dibble a little bit on TikTok. So guess what I am on TikTok? At the Table with D. Monique.
All right. Following right after
So
this.
thank you. So again, thank you for listening. And until next Thursday, be blessed and peace.
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 Join us next week for a new episode.